So in part 2, I'm gonna give my Amiibo get experience with the Monster Hunter series. So the first one is Monster Hunter Rise. Unfortunately, all of these Amiibo are Gamestop exclusive, but it's not as bad as in the past, but it was a little bit tricky. So first of all, Monster Hunter Rise Amiibo, GameStop exclusive, managed to pre-order them and get them in store. All three of them, Palamute, Palico, and the big one, Maglamalio. And of course, all of this, use it in Monster Hunter Rise, you get an exclusive bonus. And it wasn't really that hard, pre-order them. Shipment was a little tricky because apparently it went after the release date it's supposed to, because there was really no concrete, there was some shipping delay. And a lot of time it could be sort of a hint of the pandemic situation, especially if you know the story, the news of the transport, the shipping problem in the past, to a point that some company had to do exclusive shipping, which you'd have to pay more. So the Monster Hunter Rise one, they came in late, but you know, whatever, they still came, able to get them all of them like I showed you, so no problem there. But with that is Monster Story 2 Amiibo. Again, not bad because I actually got them on time, but also I was in the point like, are they gonna make them limited or not? And boy, I was wrong about the limitation because let's just say they're not. So the next one are the Monster Hunter Story 2 Amiibo. So yeah, so I got them again. Not really that hard, but at the time I didn't know the situation because, well, to some extent, the Zelda and Loftwing controversy. So basically, we've been following that. I did a story about it. I thought Nintendo was going back to 2015, not taking a lot. That wasn't the case. I will explain it on the third part of the video, but the gist of it is, it was a shipping problem, not producing problem. It's a shipping. So no problem there. But at the time, I was like, maybe I just cut my losses, pay for shipping handling, you know, FOMO, which is not illegal. It is unethical to some extent, but you know, it is what it is. I kind of bite the dust there. I kind of done it before in the past with the Smash Bros. Wii U 3DS, such as Captain Falcon and Little Mac, but it is what it is there. So of course I got all three of them, Tsukino, Anna, and the big one for this series, Razorwing Rata or a Ratalo. So yeah, these are Monster Hunter Story 2 Amiibo. You put him on the game, you kinda get some bonus again. The same goes with the first game because, first of all, wasn't that hard, and they were in store. And after a while, when I got him delivered, I went to my local Gamestops, multiple ones, and sadly to some extent, yeah, they were there. And then a couple of months, believe it or not, if I'm looking for a new game or whatever, they were there, they were available. You can just go in, buy them, go out. And as of right now, just like the Monster Hunter Rise Amiibo, you can get them online if you're willing to pay shipping handling, no problem. Yeah, so I thought it was a FOMO, but it wasn't, so stupid me. Now I learned my lesson with the main. Of course, if you heard by now, GameStop is taking pre-order. I'm holding it up because I don't want to pay for shipping handling. I know some people's strategy is buy 3, return 2. True. And again, there's not really a loss because then they'll be in store, so somebody just goes in. But at the same time, and I'm going to explain this again with the Zelda and Loftwing, there were a lot. Like as of right now, I can go to my local Target and Best Buy. They were there, no problem there. So speaking of Monster Hunter Story, hopefully Nintendo, because believe it or not, at one point PlayAsia, give credit to them, they had some super clearance sale on Monster Hunter 1 Amiibo. This is a Japanese version, so you can tell by the backside. So I have the one-eyed Leolius and Rider, which is the main character for the first game on the 3DS. It's on, I think it's also on mobile games, Apple Arcade, mobile, you get it. Hopefully on the Switch, but I don't know. Maybe they'll do it in the long run with Amiibo support and finally release this, because they never released this. I also got, they're big because this is an interesting one, Query, Pecco, and Dan. And Berioros, Hyoga, and Ayuria. Again, Monster Hunter 1 Amiibo. There were actually 6. There were also a female rider. There was also another rider, I forget the name. and the cat, the signature cat, which is also in the second game, which I'm surprised they didn't re-release that, at least that one. They never released it because here's the backstory for that one. When Monster Hunter Story 1 for the 3DS came out, it wasn't a worldwide release. It was came in Japan at first, and then a year later was the US version. And the problem is with the year later is at the same time there were other amiibo coming out. Of course, the Legend of Zelda Amiibo, Majora Mask Link, Twilight Princess Link, and Skyward Sword Link. And of course, I did a video in the past with Twilight Princess Link. It's like trying to get it for GameStop, sold out, trying to get it, nada. So Play Asia, they had them under $10. What the fudge? So again, Nintendo in the long run re-released a lot of this Zelda Amiibo. To some extent, they did with the champion because of the calamity of age. But what about those other Link? I mean, maybe Breath of the Wild 2 in 2023. So, I mean, yeah, that'll be a different story there. By the time they did not release this, and the best part one is that the Monster Hunter, the cat one, the Palico, if you use it on Animal Crossing, there will be a villager based on that character. So hopefully in the long run, and of course at the same time, of course, you know what just came out, Kirby the Forgotten World. They didn't bring out QB. There was Box Boy and Girl on the Switch, but there was no Amiibo feature. That's another one that came out, and they couldn't bring it out because one is, as well with that game, I think Box Boy and Girl Part 3 on the 3DS also came in a year later because they weren't doing worldwide release, so they just said whatever, it's kind of bullshit. Hopefully in the long run, Nintendo, Monster Hunter Story Amiibo, and QB at least, so whatever. So anyway, those are my Amiibo Get experience for the Monster Hunter series. And the last part here is a bit controversial, a bit rectified, everything's a happy ending, I'll explain that later. And those are Zelda and Loftwing, the 2-pack Metroid Dread pack, and Animal Crossing Series 5 Amiibo. Oh, and of course I did talk about it before, the Sanrio one also did rectify. So no harm done, patience the key, so stay tuned for that.